Give us a sense. First of all, what is NARCAN? How much is it distributed in the United States? Who uses it?
Well, NARCAN is the brand name for the naloxone, the molecule that actually helps antagonize or provide the opioid antidote. So in your brain, if you take an opioid, you get, or too much of an opioid, the receptors that allow you breathe get overdosed with the opioid and you die from lack of breathing. That's what actually causes death in the case of an opioid overdose, the lack of breathing. So when you take NARCAN, which is our form of naloxone, you get rapid absorption of naloxone and taken up into the brain. That kicks off the receptors the opioid that's there and allows you to start breathing again, and the patient gets a second chance. So that's what we do. We're there to provide that patient who has overdosed the opportunity for a second chance.
So we have a sense in the United States that this is a rapidly growing crisis, the opioid epidemic. Is your supply of NARCAN following suit? I mean, what is your path on distribution of NARCAN in this country? Is it a growing business in the United States for you?
Well, just to step back, this is an epidemic that's been 15 years in the making. Yes, it's got a lot of attention in the last year or two, but it has been 15 years building to the death levels we have now. We have over 100 people a day die from opioid overdose. Half of those are related to prescription medications and the other half to illicit narcotics. So what our approach is to ensure that NARCAN nasal spray is distributed as widely as possible across the United States. So we work with first responders, police forces, departments of health, many agencies to provide NARCAN nasal spray. And we also work with the retailers, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid and others, so that NARCAN nasal spray is in every store and that you can go in and get that product if you want.
So NARCAN is a way to save a life when they're overdosing on opioids. It's not a solution to the crisis. I mean, where does the solution lie? I mean, to what extent is the pharmaceutical companies themselves responsible for this problem?
Well, I can only speak for Adapt Pharma, and our focus is solely on NARCAN nasal spray. We have no other product. We focus solely on providing NARCAN nasal spray across the US. We don't sell anything else, we don't develop anything else. And our role is to make sure that the product is there, or that a carer, a mum, a dad, a brother or sister has access to NARCAN nasal spray in the event that they witness an overdose. Remember, the vast majority of overdoses occur within the home. They're not somewhere under a bridge in a street somewhere. The vast majority occur in a home setting or in around a home. Therefore, you need to have the product readily available. It's like a fire extinguisher or a smoke detector. If it's there, then you can access it, and that person who's overdosed may have an opportunity for a second chance.
How much does it cost, and are you under any pressure from, say, the White House to lower prices?
We introduced our product in 2000. We got approval 2 years ago, and we introduced the product very early last year. And we recognized the issue of price, in particular with a lot of public health organizations. The issue of price, a barrier to access, is a key issue. So we introduced a price, and we discounted that by a further 40%. So any public interest price, we call it. So the police force, the firefighters, departments of health can access it at $37.50 a dose. We don't think that's an excessive price for something that can give somebody a second chance at life.
You mentioned CVS and your relationship with them in order to get broad distribution. Yeah. There's now talk about Amazon actually going into pharmaceuticals. Is there a world in which you could actually have an Amazon even have a larger distribution footprint of something like NARCAN?
Well, I think, first of all, anyone who can provide us with a unique or interesting way to get more NARCAN out there so that it might be present at the site of an overdose, we will evaluate. But we have had great support from CVS, from Walgreens, from Rite Aid and other retailers to ensure NARCAN nasal spray is in the store. Because the critical feature is if you are empowered or activated to go into a store to buy NARCAN nasal spray, you want to ensure it's there, because you're not going to come back 24 hours later.